Two men, same age, same job, same paycheck hitting their bank account on the first of every month. $4,000 like clockwork. Same city, same rent range, same starting line. But by the end of this story, one of them will be sleeping easy. The other will be lying awake at 2 a.m., staring at a ceiling, doing math he doesn't want to do. This is the story of Alex and Ben, and it starts with something so ordinary, so normal, that almost nobody sees it coming. A car. Alex had just gotten his first real paycheck, $4,000, and for the first time in his life, he felt like somebody. He told himself he worked hard, and he deserved nice things. Somewhere between scrolling through pictures of other people's cars and quietly comparing his own life to theirs, a thought planted itself in Alex's mind. A quiet, dangerous thought. That Saturday, he walked into a luxury dealership telling himself he was just looking. A salesman greeted him like an old friend, the kind of warmth that only exists when someone's about to make a commission. He asked Alex what he did for work, nodded knowingly, and said the sentence that did more damage than any spreadsheet ever could, that a guy like Alex with his kind of energy didn't belong in some beat-up old car. He needed something that matched where he was going, not where he'd been. And when Alex hesitated over the price, the salesman brushed it aside entirely. "Forget the sticker price," he said. All that mattered was one manageable-sounding monthly number, something Alex could easily handle on his income. Nobody in that dealership mentioned the insurance. Nobody mentioned premium gas. Nobody said a word about how that one friendly monthly number would soon feel like a noose, tightening a little more every single month. He didn't buy a car that day. He bought a feeling. And feelings, it turns out, come with interest rates. Across town that same weekend, Ben was doing something far less exciting. He walked through a modest used car lot with a small notebook in hand, checking tire tread, popping the hood, asking the owner for maintenance records, the kind of questions most buyers don't even think to ask anymore. Ben wasn't trying to impress anyone in that parking lot. There was nobody to impress, just him, a notebook, and a number he'd already decided he wouldn't cross. He test drove the car alone, listened to the engine carefully, and when he was satisfied, he paid $9,000 in full, cash. No loan, no monthly payment, no salesman whispering in his ear about who he deserved to be. Ben drove home that evening in a car that would never make anyone's Instagram feed, and he didn't care, because Ben wasn't buying a feeling. He was buying freedom. He just didn't know yet how expensive Alex's feeling was about to become. 3 months into owning his new car, Alex was still smiling in public, but something had started to shift quietly behind closed doors. The insurance bill arrived, and the number on it made him do a double take. Over $200 just for coverage on a car that expensive. Nobody warns you that a friendly-sounding car payment is never actually just that one number. It's a Trojan horse. Insurance climbs because the car is expensive to replace. Premium gas because the engine demands it. And somewhere in the excitement of signing that contract, nobody does the real math. At work, Alex still looked like the guy who had it all figured out. Nobody could see the quiet math running in the background of his mind every single hour of every single day. When his friends texted about a weekend trip, Alex said yes before he'd even checked his account balance. He always said yes, because saying no felt like admitting something he wasn't ready to admit, even to himself. The credit card didn't ask questions. It never does. It just says yes over and over, quietly writing a bill that someone someday will have to pay. Across town, Ben's life looked almost boring by comparison. No new car pictures, no expensive trips. Just quiet, steady, unremarkable choices. Money moving straight into a savings account instead of into monthly payments. When a roommate joked that Ben was going to end up the boring rich guy nobody knew was rich, Ben just smiled and said he could live with that. Same night, same city, two very different kinds of silence. One man was tired from working hard. The other was tired from carrying a secret weight he hadn't told anyone about, not even himself. 8 months in, Alex had gotten used to the tightness in his chest every time a bill notification popped up. He'd learned to live with it. Until the morning, everything collided at once. Driving to work, a warning light flashed on his dashboard. The engine sputtered, smoke curled from under the hood. The transmission gone, just like that. And here's the cruel twist nobody warns you about. Expensive cars don't just cost more to buy, they cost more to break. A mechanic on the phone quoted him nearly $3,000 to fix it properly. Alex didn't have $3,000. He didn't have $300, not really. Not after the car payment, the insurance, the credit card bill that never quite got paid off. For the first time, the mask cracked. He wasn't thinking about how the car looked anymore. He was thinking about how he was going to get to work tomorrow. That night, alone at his kitchen table, his laptop showed a number in red, negative $212. Not because Alex made less money than anyone else. He made exactly the same as Ben, $4,000 every single month, like clockwork. The money was never the problem. What he'd done with it was. Ben came by that evening, having heard about the breakdown. No judgment in his voice, just 2 coffees and a quiet offer to talk if Alex ever wanted to. And for the first time in 8 months, Alex's composure finally broke. Not dramatically, just a quiet exhale, the exhaustion finally showing on his face. He admitted he didn't even know how it had gotten this bad, that he made good money, that he should have been fine. And Ben said the sentence that 8 months of car payments, insurance bills, and one smiling salesman had been quietly building toward, without Alex ever seeing it coming. That making good money and keeping good money are 2 completely different skills. Nobody teaches us the second one. Alex didn't lose everything that week. He still had his job, his apartment, his health. But he'd lost something quieter, the illusion that looking successful and being financially secure were the same thing. For the first time in 8 months, Alex wasn't looking at his phone. He was looking at his life, honestly, on paper, the way Ben had been doing all along, writing down 2 simple questions for himself. What did he actually need, and who was he really trying to prove something to? Ben never had a dramatic breakdown. Ben never had a moment where everything fell apart. And that's exactly the point. Ben's story doesn't make for a good highlight reel. There's no crash, no crisis, no 2 a.m. panic, just quiet, boring, consistent peace. Built one unremarkable decision at a time. 2 friends, same salary, same starting line, but only one of them was building something that could survive a bad week. The other was just performing one. And performances eventually always come due. This wasn't a story about income. Alex and Ben earned the exact same amount every single month. This was a story about a single decision made in a showroom, under bright lights, with a stranger's voice telling one of them exactly who he deserved to be. The car was never really the problem, it was just the first trap. And in this story, it wouldn't be the last one either of them would face. Next time on this series, Alex and Ben face a decision far bigger than a car, a house, a mortgage, and a mistake that doesn't just cost a few $100s a month, it can cost someone their entire future. If this story hit home, you already know someone living exactly like Alex or exactly like Ben. Tell us in the comments which one you related to more. And if you want to see what happens next, make sure you're subscribed because episode 2 is coming, and this next trap is even bigger than the last one.